So now we're going to learn about visualization using Google Spreadsheets and Google Forms. We'll start by going to Google Drive, click New, a new sheet, and let's click on the title, Untitled Spreadsheet, to rename it Sample Sheet. This is so we can easily reference it later on. Now we're going to navigate to Tools, Create a Form. You can create a form first and add a spreadsheet to it afterward. You can do it either way. I find it easier to create the spreadsheet first and create tools, create a new form. Now we have our form edit site. From here, we'll label our first question, call it name, change the question type to text. I'm going to set the required question to yes. That means they have to put an answer inside of here. And click done. Now beside the add item button right below it, we're going to click the little pull down and select multiple choice. We could just click add item, but it automatically enters one for us. We're going to enter the question, what is the capital of Maine? And then in the fields below where it says option 1, we'll replace those with 4 different choices. When we're done, we'll click done. Now let's add another multiple choice, again choosing the pull down. Next question, what is the atomic number of carbon? You notice here there's other choices such as add other. Add other gives you an open-ended text box where the user could enter anything in there. That's okay, but for our purposes, we want to keep it restricted to just the answers that we have provided. Now we'll click add another multiple choice. One of the questions we get a lot is about doing math equations or math questions. So we'll just put an equation here, solve for x. And we'll put a couple different solutions. And now we're going to add one final question here. The last multiple choice question is, what year did man land on the moon? And again, we'll have 4 selections. These will all be years. Click done. Now we're going to go up to the top again, and you'll see here where it says View Responses. You click on that, and it'll pull up the spreadsheet. Now, if you hadn't connected the spreadsheet initially, and you create a form first, that's where you would connect a spreadsheet. You can create a new spreadsheet, or you can create an existing spreadsheet you already have. You'll also notice that the very first thing is the first column is a timestamp. This will timestamp every entry. You can also use this as a global ID if you need to reference an individual row of data later. And now we're going to click Form, Go to Live Form. And this is what it will look like to the user. They can fill this in. So we'll enter in some sample data just to have something to work with. We'll go down again. These are all multiple choice questions. Click Submit. And go back to our spreadsheet, and you'll see the results are already immediately there. You'll also notice that there's a link to submit another answer sheet. And what will happen is if you want to be able to enter it again and again, you could click on that and use that to keep entering more answers. If you wanted your students to simply enter once and not be able to kind of enter again and again, you can remove that, submit another template there. Okay, so we will enter some more sample data just to work with, submit another response. You can also customize that question, so not only does it say submit another response, but you can reword it to say pretty much whatever you want. Okay, now we have some data to work with. So we're going to highlight the entire column, column C, by clicking on the letter at the top. Now that we've highlighted the entire column, if you wanted to protect the column, maybe like it so that other people can see it but can't change the responses in it, you would have to share the entire sheet, but you can click Data and Protect Sheet. We're going to navigate to Format, Conditional Formatting. Over on the right side there, you'll see it's already that cell, Apply to Range. We're going to change it where it says Format Cells to Is Cell Empty? And the reason why is beyond the answers that you've been provided, there'll be empty cells, of course, and so you want them to stay, invisible or white, so that way they won't see them, the changes. So we'll say if cell is empty, we'll click the customize, and then the little paint bucket and change that to white. Okay, so now we're going to add another rule right below it. And this one is if the text contains. And so this is so we can find if this is the correct answer or not. So again, we're going to customize the color scheme. You can use the existing color scheme or make your own. We'll say that if the text contains the word Augusta, which is the correct answer, there will be a green background. We're going to add another rule where if changing the formatting cells, if the text does not contain the word Augusta, we will change that to red. And this way, as answers are entered, you'll see they'll go green and red back and forth as they're either correct or incorrect. Now, there are additional things you can do. Let's say you didn't use a multiple choice and you wanted to have a direct text. The only problem with that is if somebody types something in that doesn't line up with one of those two choices. So that's just something to factor in if you're choosing, depending on what types of question you're using for visualization. Now we'll go to column D, highlight the column, enter if cell is empty. We'll leave it white, leave it blank. And now if the answer is equal to, in this case, we'll put the numbers. So number 6, we'll make that be green. And it is not equal to number 6, we'll change it to red. This works very similar to the text fields. The difference, of course, is that these are numbers. And so if you're looking for a specific numeric result, or greater than, or less than, you'll be able to apply these rules, these formatting rules. Here we're going to highlight column E, run the same process. And again, because we have letters and numbers in this answer set, we're going to have to change it to text contains. All right, we have one final column, column F. Now we have dates here. Now these are numbers, obviously, but these are dates. So you'll notice that in the date selection, you could choose today, yesterday, tomorrow, or past month, or past week. So depending on the question you're asking, you can actually have quite a different range of possible answers. We're going to keep it, because it is a specific year, we're going to keep it to a text contains and use a similar strategies we used earlier. Okay, so now anytime a new question is entered in, automatically the visualization colors will appear, so you can very quickly and easily see the results without having to necessarily look at them all. For a quick overall visual results, if you click on Form, Show Summary Responses, you'll see here these little pie charts that are already connected. They have the percentages of which answer and also which other choices were selected. This is built right in. You're not able to change the results here. This is kind of built in as it is, but it's certainly handy if you want a quick snapshot of what to look like.